Okay, I said I was gonna come back with a video about Baron Samdi of New Orleans Voodoo tradition. Here in New Orleans, Baron Samdi is the patron Loa of the city. Um, this is my Baron Samdi. It's hard to find a depiction. Excuse the lens and the glass. I tried to take it out, but the little sunglasses are going to break. Um, so I didn't want to break them. But his depiction is usually of a skeletal figure, uh, a skeleton, a full statue of him with a skeletal face, and I have those on my altar also. I have a skull, the skeletal figure. I bought a big bust of him and his wife, Mama Bridget. That's on my altar. This is the veve we use in New Orleans Voodoo. I don't know if you're getting that. And a lot of people may say that's for Baron LaCroix or LaCroix, however you want to say it, Baron of the Cross. But this is what we use in New Orleans Voodoo. Um, a lot of people ask about putting an altar up to him. Um, I can't stop you, but if you do, um, it doesn't have to be elaborate. Some kind of statue of him, a skull with a top hat. You can get that. You can get the little top hats at like Hobby Lobby and stuff like that with the little feathers. I mean, dress it up. His rum, he likes rum. This is the rum I have on my altar right now. It's made here in New Orleans. There's another New Orleans style rum called New Orleans rum. If you're out of state, good luck. You're not gonna find either one of these. But you can use Bacardi. Try to stay away from spiced rums like Captain Morgan. Um, I found out that he really doesn't like that too much. Um, his numbers are 9. You get a pair of dice and flip them up to where it shows 9. Um, I have a small coffin that I place money in as a tribute to him on my altar. I have a shot glass to give his libations to. When you cook something for him, it has to be spicy. He likes red beans and rice, black beans. He follows sometimes in the Caribbean uh, style, black beans and rice, fried plantains, but everything has to be spicy. You have to spice it a lot and put it in front of his altar. And there's a lot of things in the city about the Baron. That's the first thing you see all around the city when you come to New Orleans is depictions of the Baron and things like that. And there's been a lot of people that come to the city uh, looking for the gates of Ghani. Ghani is there's supposed to be 7 gates in this city to Ghani. Ghani is not a place of punishment or torture. It's a murky world of the afterlife. Uh, they said that Marie Laveau's uh, tomb in St. Louis Cemetery, that's the first star of the map. Uh, it's going to take place inside of Canal Street and Basin Street around the cemeteries. And I guess they're talking about this first top star on his cross up here by the little hole right here. That's supposed to be the beginning of the map. And you're supposed to go around the city and looking for other parts of the Veve. Is there the gates of Ghani here? Don't know. I know a lot of people have came looking for them. I don't think nobody's ever found them. Um, I don't know why you'd go look for that, because the gates of Ghani, uh, the spirits that are in there are holding back all the spirits that can be unleashed onto earth. And if you don't go there with reverence and respect, they will pull you in, and that's where your soul will be tortured at. But I did say it's not for torture or anything, but if you go there with the wrong intentions, that was supposed to happen. Like I said, it's supposed to be Canal Street to Basin Street, around the cemeteries, St. Louis 1, St. Louis 2, St. Patrick's Cemetery, all the cemeteries that's downtown in the French Quarter. Uh, you would have to take a little while walking around the city looking for all the points on the Veve, if they are, because I walked around and I looked, and I know about the top one, about the star, um, and it's supposed to have better access to it to be found during All Saints Day, Day of the Dead, and things like that. But like I said, I do know a lot of people have came to the city looking for the gates of Ghani. Um, the Baron Harris is the leader of the Gay Day family. He takes care of the cemetery. He buries your grave only if it's time for you to be buried or for it to be dug. And there's a few more barons. His wife is Mama Bridget in Catholicism. She's Saint Bridget, so that's his wife. There's Baron Lacroix, Baron Criminel, Baron Cemeterial, uh, and a few more. I think there's 7 of them, and each one is supposed to have a representation of the Veve to find the gates. A lot of people come here and they like Baron Samdi. They take him back home. I made a video about this before because he's a party guy. You know, he likes parties. He likes to drink. He likes to smoke. He likes cigars. He likes Pall Mall cigarettes. Uh, I forgot the bottle of the rum steeped with the peppers. I forgot that on the altar. He likes hot things. And they say, and what they say, and I've seen it done before, doing rituals, and they're bringing down Baron. If he enters somebody, rides them, or possess them, it's easy to see if it's a fake because you give them the bottle of the steeped peppers with the rum, and if they can drink it like water, rub it on their face, and nothing happens, well, now you got something. I took a swig of it once, and it lasted about 2 seconds before I spit it out. Um, it's like all altars. His altars could be elaborate or very simple. Colors are purple, black, and with some white. The candles are purple and black. I found a lot of purple and black glass encased candles don't really burn right for some reason. Maybe it's because of the color. Some do and some don't. It's hard to find purple and black candles unless you go to a Botanica. They got some grocery stores around here that have that color. So you can use white glass encased candles, as you always do. Take your Florida water and rub the outside of the candle, the glass. You can take rum and do the same thing and just cleanse it. Um, for to connect with that spirit, you can get some Catholic saint statues and connect with it. But if you have to connect with it, or you'll be connecting with that saint. Saint Martin de Perez is supposed to be one of his counterparts. Here in New Orleans is Saint Expedite for some reason. Um, I can't remember the other saint off the top of my head, but I know Saint Martin de Porres and Saint Expedite. If that's all you can find, you have to find out how to consecrate and feed your statue. Uh, it's almost like baptizing it in that name. If it's a Catholic saint statue, if you don't consecrate it right and feed it, you're probably connecting with that saint spirit instead of Baron Samdi. Um, so you got to kind of watch how you're doing it with that. Like I said, it's hard to find a statue of him if you don't like the skeletal form, 'cause that's all you see all the time. Um, Here in New Orleans Voodoo, he is one of the Loas that can transverse from the physical world to the spiritual world. Papa Legba is another one that can transverse from the spiritual world to the physical world. So if you want to start to put up an altar for him, kind of follow these steps and do it right and be respectful. Purple, black, sometimes a little white mixed in it. The purple and black candles, if you can't find those, white glass encased candles will work just as good. As far as the statue, if you can't find one that you like, just print out online. That's why I'm using this, because I don't draw good. You can put a veve in a frame and use that, but most of them you're going to find is a skeletal figure. You can buy a skeleton and go to Hobby Lobby and places like that and buy a little top hat and put on. Put the purple band around it with the feathers. And just be reverent about it. Know what you're doing and what you're asking for. The Baron does many things in many guises. Business. I've had people say they use them for love work. I made a video a while back about a practitioner here in New Orleans who took a little girl out into the cemetery and did a love ritual for her at the cemetery. But everything was Baron Samdi to him. Everything, no matter what you went to him for, was Baron Samdi. And I kind of thought that was a little weird. That's how he does his business. That's fine. But I kind of thought it strange because, yeah, you're working with the spirit of Baron Samdi in the cemetery, but how many souls in that cemetery, when they was alive, never knew what true love was? And do you think they was going to be kind to this little girl about her love? And she was trying to strengthen up the relationship she had with her boyfriend at the time. I think it was 10 years they'd been together. And he did the ritual and everything, poured the patchouli water and everything mixed on her, did the sage smoke, everything like that, the cigar. And come to find out, it's on the website, and you'd have to dig through it. I don't remember the name of it no more. I guess it's still on YouTube. After this happened, the guy left her. I don't know if it was because he seen a video of her, stripped down to just a pair of panties in the cemetery, having this liquid poured on her. That might have flipped him out. Or one of them spirits followed her, and just because you're in the cemetery working with Baron Samdi, it doesn't mean that a spirit cannot attach to you that never knew this in life, never knew love or anything like that. So they're not going to stick their neck out and be helpful with this young lady. They're going to give to her what they had in life. I don't know how true it is that her boyfriend left her. That's what the comment said. But I just found it funny that everything he did was Baron Samdi. That's cool. If that's your patron Loa you go to, that's fine. But there's many other things he could have used besides Baron Samdi in a cemetery ritual for love. And it didn't, as far as the comments went on their site, it said the boy after 10 years had left her. So I don't know, like I said, he couldn't deal with her being, damn near buck naked on YouTube. I don't know if that was it. Or it didn't work. Something followed her home. So that's what I'm trying to say with this kind of spirit, this kind of energy. You got to watch who you're dealing with. Basically, he's an assassin. All the barons are assassins. He digs your grave if he thinks it's time for it. It's not a spirit you won't be on the bad side of. There's an old saying that if you ever meet him in person, as you're shaking his hand, remember to take your hand away from him, because when he departs, he takes what he has in his hand. I don't know what you're supposed to use. I heard people say you put a turkey leg in his hand while you're shaking it. That way, why you're shaking his hand that long to begin with. It also goes, if you get to meet him, you ask him one question, and he'll give you the most honest answer that you can ever get in your life. It won't be no bullshit. It'll be to the point. If you ask where a treasure is, he's going to tell you where the treasure is. He knows all the secrets of everybody in every grave. He knew who they were, what they did in life, how much money they had, how many people they screwed over, where they hid all their treasures. He knows all that. But again, it's a spirit you have to, as with all of them, watch how you approach it. Because if it's not done right, you may have some consequences to pay. And I've said this before, if you want to start off with something, start off with Papa Legba or somebody like that. Ogun is another powerful spirit to work with. He doesn't take too many mistakes at all. Um, but everybody seems to be interested in bearing Samdi. So, like I said, on my altar, that's my main statue. And it took me years to find that. And I have all the skeletal statues, the skull, the top hats, everything like that, the cigarettes, the cigars, the coffin, the money, the dice, the card, uh, the nine of spades. You put that on there. Um, he's supposed to be good at gambling, luck. Don't know how true that is because I never used him for gambling. So it's like every other spirit or any other energy. Because I think in Samedi and Ifa, he's called Baron Cemeterio, and the saint is Saint. I can't remember the name. There's a school named after the saint. Uh, but the depiction of the saint is stepping on a figure, I guess is the devil. It's a man with horns, with his sword up there, about ready to do the final strike on him. And that's who they use in Samedi and Ifa compared to our Baron Samdi. They call him Baron Cemeterio. So every religion has offshoots to the main. When it came from Africa, yeah, it was all the same. But when it got in the Caribbean islands, it started to branch and move, and everything got changed. Um, as I said in the video I did earlier, back back in the days before the Haitian slaves came here, it was hoodoo. No, nobody said anything about voodoo. And then the Haitian slaves came here and began to mix their secrets with the secrets of hoodoo. And because they used to use hoodoo and the spiritualism of the Native American shamans from the bayous and swamps. And it all mixed together. And then the word, I guess, I don't know when the word officially came out as New Orleans Voodoo. But back then, it was hoodoo. 100 some odd years ago, I'd have been called a two-headed doctor. It wasn't no Bokor or anything like that. It was hoodoo. And it's kind of confusing with that because the hoodoo practitioners will say quick, hoodoo is a practice. Voodoo is a religion. But the saints that they use in hoodoo are the Catholic saints. They don't change them by names. Um, like Papa Legba to us is Saint Lazarus and saints like that. They actually use Saint Lazarus. Uh, Ursula Freda is the Virgin Mary. They use the Virgin Mary. So that always confused me. How's one's a practice, not a religion? Um, they do use more old things, roots, herbs, leaves, plants to get their job done. And don't take hoodoo half cocked. Uh, it's just as strong as any religion that can come up against. So the name New Orleans Voodoo came out, I guess, when it got prevalent, and the saints and Loas were still there. Um, I don't know if they had the Baron or they had a similarity of him. But as the voodoo culture took over, I'm quite sure the Baron came out. And like I said, he's head of the Gay Day family. Everything else is Rada Petro nations and in Gay Day family. And there's so many spirits in and energies and loas in Rada and Petro. You can sit down and as if you was gonna spite out every name, it would take you 5, 6, 7 months to go through all the names and still miss a bunch of names that nobody knew about, that nobody told you about, because there's some energies and stuff that people don't talk about. Just saying their name is not the best of ideas. So, like I said, if you wanna do altar, just do it with reverence and respect. Like I said, if you're going to do it in the tradition of New Orleans voodoo, purple, black, and sometimes white. The candles can be purple and black. Like I said, I've bought colored candles, and they don't really burn right. There's nothing wrong with it, nothing spiritual with it, but they just, maybe it's the color that they use. And some of them do burn real good. And try it on your first run. Get a purple and a black candle. And if they don't burn correctly, just go back with some white candles. That's the best catch-all is the white candles. Like I said, the rum, I stay away from spiced rum. You can use, like I said, Bacardi. Uh, there's a rum called Jamaican white overproof rum that you can find in other states. I can't remember the company's name, but it's called Jamaica White Overproof Rum. And some really clear, strong rum. Anything strong and potent you can put on his altar. Like I said, he likes Pall Mall cigarettes. You can't find the old Pall Malls, I don't think, anymore without the filter. That's cool. Just get regular Pall Mall cigarettes if you want to do that. Good cigar. You can light the cigar up and blow some on the statue on your altar and put it in an ashtray and let it consume itself. You could probably do the same thing with one of the Pall Malls, light it up, take a couple of puffs on it, put it in the ashtray. You may want to blow some of the smoke if you want. Put the rum around when you're doing if you're doing a ritual. You can put it in your mouth and spray it. That takes a while to learn to do it perfectly. I generally just put my thumb over the neck of it and put it around where I need to put it. Yeah, I can spray rum, but it goes all over the place. I don't have the perfect pattern. Just ain't caught on to how to do it yet. But like I said, if you cook meats for him, you have to sear the meat almost burnt on the outside, but it has to be raw on the inside and present it. You can get elaborate with it. Like I said, my offerings are red beans and rice and sausage, black beans and rice, and some plantains, fried plantains. As long as you cooking it, you can get the Zatarans box of red beans and rice and black beans and rice, and just put a lot of pepper in it, And as you cooking it, put it in a bowl, put it on the altar. You can get little tea lights, little tea candles, and put it in the middle of it and light it if you want. You leave that there for a very short period of time. I'll say 24 hours, maybe 48, and you go ahead and dispose of it. Fruits last a little bit longer on your altar. And in this world, I know a lot of people don't have time for things. I can't find time to do things sometimes. And, people, bring that up to me. You forgot to call me. Did you forget me? No, I didn't forget you. Just didn't have the time when I got around. It was like midnight, 1 o'clock. I wasn't calling you then. We just don't have the time no more. That's fine. They understand that. But don't set everything up and you walk away for 2, 3, 4 months and you don't do anything to it. This is something you have to commit to if you're going to do it. And that's where a lot of people sometimes get in trouble. They do it and then they walk away from it, and now that spirit is connected with you. And like I tell a lot of people, it's like you sitting in your apartment talking to a young lady and the door knock. It's another young lady you've been going out with. What you gonna do? Grab the one that you sitting on the couch talking to, bring in the bathroom, put in the shower, close the door, shut the door, and go get the other one? The one in that shower is gonna be pissed off and come out. Now you got a hurricane of 2. So don't neglect it. Like I said, you can print out a Veve. That's the one we use in the Orleans Voodoo. Okay, everything I'm talking about is in the Orleans Voodoo tradition. A lot of people say that's Baron LaCroix, Baron LaCroix, Baron of the Cross. This is what we use here. And find a figure or a statue or something like that. It's something that you have to gravitate to, something that you like. And if you can't find that you like, just pick up a skull at one of the head shops or something like that, and try to find a nice little top hat for it, like I said, Hobby Lobby or something. Doctor it up with some feathers and things like that, put it on top of the skull. That'll work just as good. Getting advanced with it, you have to feed your statues with Ghani peppers. You have to feed them. And it's almost like I said, ritual of baptizing and things like that. You have to baptize what you're doing in that name. Like if you're using the Catholic saint statute, you have to make sure that the energy you're going after is Baron Samdi and not the energy of the saint. Okay, a lot of people use that still to this day to confuse people when they come into their house. You see a statue of, say, Saint Martin de Porres. Nobody thinks twice about it. Well, around here, you have a working altar in your house, then nobody bats an eye at it. But if you follow these guidelines, you should be all right. I know I got a little long-winded with the, the gates of Ghani and things, but that also walks hand in hand with New Orleans and Baron Samedi and the Gay Day family. So I hope you could pull something out of this. And as always, like, share, and subscribe.